Good day. Welcome to the Jaybefaunt channel. I'm your host, James Fauntleroy. So good to see all of you here on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon, October 24th, 2023. I am your host, James Fauntleroy. Come on in, have a seat. Good to see all of you here. The Jaybefaunt channel is available on all major podcast platforms, so go ahead and subscribe to me there. Also part of the Revolutionary Blackout Network, so you can find me there on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. If you guys have not already, you guys can also go to my Substack at jaybefaunt.substack.com to be notified whenever I do go live, upload clips, or write articles. You guys have that there as well. If you guys preemptively have already given a like to the stream, thank you so very much. If you have not, you can go ahead and give a like to the stream if you like me already. If you don't, you can save the likes or dislikes till the end. Either way, let me know what you think. So thank you so very much to everyone here. Also, just to give my salutations to all over the weekend. I was out for the weekend and I needed it. Long weekend. So good to see all of you here with me today. And as well, in addition to, and furthermore, I just want to say hello to all the people that's in the chat. And we're going to be going throughout the chat throughout the day, but there's, some questions I know that some people have, and I would like to, do a Q&A. I haven't done another one of these in a long time. So I was like, hey, let's do it. And plus, I'm exhausted, just mentally, especially from a lot of the stuff that's been coming out of Palestine. And it's like I've been sharing and retweeting and posting about it on social media. So it's like I'm doing what I can, but at the same time, it's like mentally and emotionally exhausted me. So it's another reason why I'm doing just a Q&A today. But hopefully you guys will understand. I appreciate it very much. But I do want to talk about some things too. All right, so we have Justice coming in saying, oh man, God, I've been missing your presence. 4 days without our James. Just ain't right. Thank you so very much, Justice. You are too kind. Justice continues, says, hope you're doing well, and I probably can't make the live, but I'll drop a couple questions, though I hope they're not too personal. Feel free to no comment them. And these first couple of questions, I'll start. And then once we get into it, then we'll get into it. Justice says, have an amazing live session. I know I'm always wishing you happiness, peace, strength, and freedom to make all your dreams and goals come true. Forehead kisses. Thank you so much, Justice. Appreciate it. CBC voter coming in saying, happy Tuesday at JB. Good to see you, CBC voter. Nice to have you. Sarina says, greetings, comrades. Good to see you too. Bryce, my brother from another mother. Good to see you as well. Nice to have you. Miguel coming in saying, peace to you. Good to see you, Miguel, as well. We got V coming in saying, handsome as you. Oh, thank you, V. That comment was delicious. Thank you. Don't read too much into my flirty eyes, V. Sorry. It's just, I don't get them that much. So I got to savor it whenever it comes my way. CEB Applejack, good to see you. Okay. Here's my question. How you say things I always think but can never say properly. You can say things properly and think things that are on my mind that I can't say. There's a power within you that I don't possess, and there's a power within me that you don't possess. But this is why it is important for us to be in community with each other so that we bounce off each other, because you have some gifts that I don't have that you can help me with, and then I can in turn do the same thing for you. And I think that's the point. And I appreciate you for admiring, me for this, but I also want you to recognize the strength within yourself. because you're powerful within your own right too. You shared it in the stream before and got a lot of respect for that. So just always recognize the strength and the power that you have, especially and the power to build people up. You got it. It's in you. Thank you so much. Good to see you as always. All right. Who else? Let me see. Roger Meadow says, "Hey Jay, are we okay?" Yeah, we're definitely okay. Yeah. Good to see you, by the way. Nice to have you. All right. Zoe says, LMAO JB too funny. Funny looking or funny acting? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Wadi coming in saying, "Hey everybody, so good to see you, Wadi." Great team coming in saying hello to Miguel. Give Miguel some love. That's what it's all about. I love to see people giving each other love. All right. Okay, so I forgot to put this up. JB been all over the place, everybody. Let me put this in here really quick, just so that it shows, because, well, if JB don't show it, then, is it really a show? I don't know. We'll see. But I just wanted to, get into some of the things that have been going on within the last few days. I'm going to talk about Palestine a little bit, but not a whole lot, because, Lord, you guys know what's going on with the channels and this platform. But we'll get into some stuff. But what are we doing today? I haven't did this in a while. We're doing a Q&A stream. So this is where y'all got questions, I got answers. Look, we talking. We're going to have a conversation. This ain't just going to be one-sided. This ain't going to be just me talking and then going to the chat. No, this is going to be throughout. So you guys better get them ready. I may even answer some personal questions. I got to be limited on that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I love y'all, but you have to maintain boundaries in this parasocial relationship. All right? Healthy boundaries. I know some of y'all freaky. I'm going to ask me some freaky ass questions. I can't with y'all. CBEB Applejack says, another good one. So what are your thoughts on the hypocrisy of America on the hardline stance with Russia, but not Israel? Love your streams. Love your thoughts. Thank you, my brother. That's a good question. Okay. So here's the funny thing about the dichotomy between Russia and Ukraine and in Israel versus Palestine. From what the information that I know is that within the Donbass, within Eastern Ukraine, a lot of especially ethnic Russian-speaking Ukrainians actually wanted Russia to come in and assist them because of the Nazis that were like killing them and massacring them. Like, remember back in 2014, I think it was 14,000 of them were murdered. And so they actually wanted that. Not saying that the way Russia went about it was right, but if you got to remember, NATO pushed Russia to that position. It's just like, and I've said this before, it's just like having a mean dog in a backyard and you keep pushing and keep messing with that mean dog. And then one day you mess with the mean dog so much that you open the gate and then that mean dog comes after you. And it's like you guys kept messing with that mean dog. It's kind of like that. And so when it comes to ultimately with Russia, a lot of people mistakenly say, oh, well, that's imperialism. That's colonialism because he's trying to take it over. When in reality, it wasn't. It was really a a bad take at trying to help people, I guess. I mean, what Putin said was, denazification. That's basically what it was. So, it doesn't appear to be imperialism in my eyes, right? It's not clearly like what's going on in Palestine, which is genocide. It's genocide that's going on there. And a lot of people have been saying, well, Gaza is an open air prison. It is not a prison, because that would denote that the people who are in there did something wrong. Gaza is an open air concentration camp. Let's not mince words here. And that's what it is. And Israel is a settler colonial project that its aim is to grow, right? Just like capitalism, its aim is to grow. And so they put 2.2 million Palestinians within this tiny little strip of land. And now their constant bombing raids, it's basically shooting fish in a barrel. Where do the fish have to go? They have nowhere to go. So they're just left to their devices. What's going on in Gaza is, remember Squid Game? Remember the red light, green light game? And every single time it turned around and anybody moved an inch, they got shot. And they had nowhere to go. They were in the confines of those four walls. They had nowhere to go. That's Gaza. That's Gaza. And a lot of people are going to sit here and go, well, they did these things to the Israelis. Number one, the attack by Hamas was done on October 7th. Nothing else was done past October 7th, number one. Number two, it was actually recorded by Hamas that they only attack military targets. Israel was the one that was attacking hospitals and clinics and housing. So, with that being said, if you're going to look at what's going on there, it is just horrific. And they'll say, well, I think it was 1,400 Israelis, most of which were in the military, right? So soldiers, right? And then when it comes to Palestinians, it was, I think it's just shy of 5,000 that were killed. Over 1,000 of them were children. I can't tell you. I can't show what some of the images I've seen, but I've seen headless children. Literally. I've seen fathers holding their babies and they were expired. And all this stuff is coming out. All of it, one after another. On Twitter, it's coming out. On TikTok, that's what's coming out. And you see these harrowing images. You see children that are shocked, like they can't move. They showed a puppy that was in shock. He couldn't even eat. A tiny little puppy because of the bombings. Poor puppy. So just goes to show what's going on, and the majority of those people are not Hamas. And then on top of it, bombing hospitals. It wasn't just a hospital, it was a Christian hospital. They bombed one of the oldest churches in the world. Destroyed one of the oldest churches in the world. Christian, Jewish, and Muslim Palestinians are all being wiped off the face of the earth. So this is what I was looking at over the weekend. So if you guys notice that I don't really have much stories today, it is because right here and here, I'm exhausted. On top of my channel being demonetized. So between myself, Richard Medhurst, I think Indie News Network also had something wrong happen with them as far as their monetization going. So yeah. But as far as the because a lot of times people, but here's the thing I think a lot of people aren't thinking about. Like, there's a lot of people who will side or who are siding with Ukraine, had the Ukraine flags in their bios and talking crap about Russia, right? And yet, these are the same people that will side with Israel doing what they're doing. And it's under the guise of thinking that, oh, well, Russia's doing imperialism, when in reality, Russia wasn't doing imperialism. And even still, you can still condemn Russia. That's fine. But let's not call it imperialism. Because if that was the goal, then they'd be trying to take all of Ukraine back. But they're not. But Israel, they're trying to take the entirety of Palestine, number one. Number two, they want Lebanon, they want Syria, they want Egypt. They want to grow beyond the borders. That's what they want to do. That's why they're bombing Lebanon, Syria, right? They just bombed Aleppo again. How many bombings can Aleppo take? It's wild. But yeah, that was a good question. Thank you, CEB Applejack. All right. Harry Christophe says, what kind of disability do you have, James? Also, what's his the technical term of what I have is called ESRD, end stage renal disease, or as also known as chronic kidney failure. So my kidneys do not work. I am on kidney dialysis. I've been on kidney dialysis for 15 and a half years now. So because my kidneys do not work, I have to get dialysis 3 times a week. That is to filter my blood because my kidneys do not do it for me anymore. And that's basically to keep me alive. So dialysis is literally a life-sustaining treatment. If I don't get dialysis for a few treatments, I die. So I have to. I have no choice. And the only treatment that is more permanent than dialysis is a kidney transplant, which I'm working towards now. So that is what I have. I was diagnosed with nephrotic syndrome when I was about 9 years old, which is a juvenile kidney disease. So the GFR, glomerular filtration rate, was greatly diminished because the filters in my kidneys just stopped. So that's what happened. And so I wound up on dialysis when I was in my 20s. I know I look good, right? So yeah, that's what happened to me. So yeah, the B stands for Brian. So yeah, so that's who I am. Not like the famous producer James Fauntleroy. So yeah. Mizu says, hey, JB, good to see you, Mizu. All right. Oh, I saw this. Miguel H says, today everything is made in China except courage. Courage is made in Palestine. That was from Anthony Bourdain. Yeah. Oh, that went down. Sorry. Let me see. Okay, so Sarina says, how would you advocate for Palestine to someone who supports Israel because it's the Holy Land? I don't know how to explain the difference between the state and the Israel in the Bible effectively. That's also a really good question. It is the Holy Land according to whom, first of all. Now, it is considered the Holy Land according to people who are Jews, Christians, and Muslims, right? But just because it's the Holy Land doesn't give people the right to move other people off of it, right? It can still be the Holy Land, but just because you are of Jewish faith or, I guess, ethnicity, that does not give you the right to rip people out of their land. And you can say, well, it's mandated by God. I can stomp on your foot and say that was mandated by God, but doesn't make it true. Even Orthodox and Hasidic Jews actually say that we are not supposed to have a state. They said once the temple in 70 CE was destroyed, we don't have a state. So when they talk about, oh my God, it's the Holy Land, yeah. Muslims, Christians, and Jews all agree that that area is the Holy Land. Yes. However, just because it's the Holy Land doesn't give you carte blanche to commit colonialism on the people that were there. Also, while we're at it, a lot of Jewish people will say, well, no, I'm Jewish and we're just going back to our homeland. A lot of the Jewish people that are going there and that are stealing basically the land away from Palestinians are more like European Jews, Ashkenazi Jews. They are Europeans. They're Eastern Europeans that happen to be Jewish, that are going to Palestine and taking the land of the Palestinian people. Now, I am a third Nigerian. By that same logic, I can go to Nigeria and kick a Nigerian out from their land and say, hey, my ancestors were African. My ancestors, I'm a third Nigerian. A plurality of me is Nigerian. I have right to this land. But do I have a right to kick a Nigerian off from that land? I don't have that right. Now, if I wanted to move to Nigeria and live among the Nigerian people, of course, fine. But who am I to kick somebody off their land, to overtake their land? No, that's wrong. You don't do that. That's not right. So, I could say, look, I can go to Wales. I'm also part Welsh, right? I can go to Norway and move somebody out. I got Norwegian in me. That's right. I literally have Norwegian in me. So does that give me the ability, the right to go to Norway and say, I got Norwegian in me. I can claim this I can claim this land. I go to Wales, I can claim part of this land. Does that make sense? On top of it, if people consider, especially people who consider themselves to be Christian, Why are the whole thing about God's chosen people goes beyond blood now. Now, see, here's me coming off the memory of when I used to preach door to door. Hang on. Yeah. Let's go here. Because I didn't think I would go here, but hey, for all the people who are Christians out there who are like, well, the Jews are God's chosen people. Well, not according to Paul, right? Well, yeah. Hang on. Let me put that down. Because a lot of times people are like, "Oh my God, they're God's chosen." See, this is why we got to talk about the Black Church and how the Black Church pushes Zionism, which is complete and utter BS. The thing is that they shouldn't be pushing it, but yet they are. Here's the thing: Galatians chapter 3, verse 28. In fact, let's start at 26. It says, are you are all, in fact, sons of God through your faith in Christ Jesus. For all of you were baptized into Christ and have put on Christ. There is neither Jew nor Greek. There's neither slave nor free man. There's neither male nor female, for all are one in union with Christ Jesus. Moreover, if you belong to Christ, and you're really Abraham's offspring, heirs with a reference to a promise. Basically, what this means is that your physical lineage does not matter anymore as a Christian. So if you're Christian and talking about, well, the Israelis are God's chosen people, you're actually going against the words of what the Apostle Paul said when he wrote the letter to the Galatians. See? So that's the thing that, a lot of times people are like, oh, this is the Holy Land. Yeah, fine. That's all fine. But it doesn't give you the right to be able to steal other people's property like that. What? Wait, what did the Ten Commandments say? You must not covet, what another man has. So that's basically in the Torah. I'm sure there's something similar within the Quran. So yeah. Thanks for the question. Harry says James has great analogy. I wouldn't say Russia's a mean dog. Russia's not a mean dog. Russia's simply standing up to Western chauvinism. I mean that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I'm not really going to get into it because the thing is, like, that analogy, I'm not going to die on that hill. Sometimes my analogies can fall flat, but hey, thank you very much, though. Zoe says, thoughts on Kamala Harris using her Afro-Caribbean heritage to encourage CARICOM, an African nation, to support an invasion of Haiti. Shame on her. Shame on her. But that's why they chose her, right? They chose her to push things like that. Why do you think they chose Obama? Obama was more selected than elected. The thing is, they chose Obama because they wanted Black people. And it wasn't just American Black people. It's the diaspora to accept American interest around the globe. That's one of the reasons why Obama was elected. Because they want a Black face in a high place, even for people in the Caribbean, in Africa, as well as places like Brazil. They wanted people who are of African descent to look and see, oh, well, he's Black, so he's going to look out for us too, even though we're in another nation. He's not going to screw us over. And then look what happened. So they do the same thing with Kamala Harris. Lloyd Austin, hello. Same thing. Yeah. Because if you're this color and you're willing to do the bidding of the empire, they have a place for you. Yep. Hey, Pachico, good to see ya. All right. Mizu says, JB, you talked about being busy, but if you were to learn another language, it would be Spanish. Look up Lingota when you already sign up for their super sprint and look at their terms. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I need to, especially living in the area where I am. That's like Spanish is like the second biggest language out of English in the area in Florida, really, because I mean we have so many different Latinos here. We have a huge Cuban, Puerto Rican, Mexican populations. Then sprinkling in there like Nicaragua, Guatemala, El Salvador. Yeah, there a few people sprinkle in Colombian. There are a few sprinkled in here and there from other parts of South America. Also, a significant Brazilian population too, but yeah, but they speak Portuguese. But yeah, I need to. It's tough because dialysis takes a lot of my energy on top of doing the show and then doing RBN. So that's the only thing. And now I'm also doing the chapters too. So it's like it might just be a time management issue, but thank you very much. What are your thoughts on Jim Jordan failing to become speaker? Never really thought about it, actually. I'm gonna be honest with you. Why? Because Jim Jordan, whatever. I think it's just, I think Jim Jordan he's a Trumper that tried to become speaker, but the Republican establishment, it's like the Democrats. Okay, like they would never choose like a Jamal Bowman or an Ilhan Omar to become speaker, right? Just like they would never do that on the Democratic side. On the Republican side, they would never do that for Jim Jordan. Not that Jim Jordan is very principled, in my opinion, but he's not as establishment Republican as they want. So they want to keep it more establishment, but they're going to go somebody towards more the fringes of the Republican establishment versus somebody like a Jim Jordan or a Matt Gaetz or Josh Hawley or something like that. So that's from what it looks like to me. So it's just like, yeah, Jim Jordan had, he's too divisive, I think, for the Republican Party versus someone who they think would be more better for the Republican Party. I'm hearing rumblings of Liz Cheney. So yeah, I'm hearing rumblings of that, but we'll see. But I don't know. Do I think Liz Cheney has a shot? Possibly. I mean, she has, name recognition, especially because her daddy was the spawn of Satan. So yeah, we'll see. Does that make her a spawn of Spawn? I don't know. But anyways, yeah, so we'll see. Liz Cheney, she's like a Meghan McCain, they're both just like their fathers. Do all things with love. Good to see you. Says my only question is how us JB. Oh, you are so sweet. Thank you so very much. No, you're projecting. It's pure projection. You're the awesome one. You just need to look into the mirror and see how awesome you are. What are you talking about, Harry? James taking too long. I want to shut. People getting thirsty in the comments. All right, so hang on, let me see. There's some fun questions too. Let me see. So Omar Rona, good to see you, says, how many countries does Israel want to oppress? It is beyond ridiculous at this point. Oh, gosh. Well, thing is that ultimately the goal is Zionism is interlinked with capitalism, just like racism and white supremacy is linked to capitalism, right? Israel is a babysitter of the West for the Middle East. They're there to keep tabs on Middle Eastern countries so that they can maintain that control and that hegemony, that Western hegemony in the Middle East. That's ultimately what it's about. Because look at Afghanistan. They have the opium. You have Yemen. You have Yemen, Egypt, Qatar, Libya, not Libya, sorry, Lebanon. You have all these different countries that are in the Middle East, a lot of which are oil rich, that they really want to keep a hold of. And how do you keep those in check? Well, you could have a military base there, but you got a state that has this massive military within that area. So you don't really need a base. You just have Israel. So that's basically what it is. So yeah. Great team. Thank you so much. Please hit that like button. Yes, it pushes me out into the algorithm. Mizu says Aleppo had the oldest open air market in existence and it was destroyed. Man, that's sad. Oh boy. Yeah, that's what they do. CEB Applejack says, I have many questions. I love picking your brain. Do you think the West is making a fool of themselves by uniting with the global South and Arab nations behind our lack of morality? West is making a fool of themselves by uniting the global South and Arab nations behind our lack of morality. Oh, of course. I mean, ultimately, the greed is the fuel that causes the foolish actions. So, okay. So like I was saying earlier, when it comes to capitalism, they want to continuously withhold and control the resources. Well, what are the resources within the Middle East? Primarily, it is petroleum, oil, you know what I'm saying, in that area. And so Israel is a friend. By the way, if you always notice, it's never a secular government that the United States teams up with in order to influence and push their hegemony. It's always right-wing governments that have a very deeply religious slant to it. So whether it's a deeply right-wing Muslim government, or it's a deeply right-wing Jewish government, or it's a deeply right-wing Christian government, it is always one of those three that they cling to so that they can basically have control or have at least a friend in that region. And anything that's even moves towards secular, a lot of the time, typically goes in a more socialist direction. Because then they get out of the individualistic mindset and they'll start going into more of a collectivist mindset. Not that religious people can't be collectivists. No, they can. It's just it's in a way a perversion a lot of times, because it's like, oh, we just have to worry about ourselves and ourselves only, versus it's like, no, we got to worry about everybody collectively and the workers. And so a lot of times what happens within these countries is that because they have that individualistic mindset, and they typically have very right-wing views, the United States takes that and they run with it. And so these countries end up doing the United States bidding. And so basically uh they're a lackey for the empire. And so right now what's going on is a lot of these Arab nations are seeing that the United States has just been selfish, for lack of a better word. And it's not necessarily the heads of state in these Arab nations, it is the people in the Arab nations that are seeing like, man, these countries, our countries are the way they are because the United States keeps pushing our countries to be this way. Right? It's the same thing, with in South America. They will continuously try to put in as far right as they possibly can so that they can keep the governments in check, so that they can continue to keep capitalist regime in check, so that they can have that basically. Sorry, my brain is kind of blanking in and out. So, but the global South has been uniting together. I'm gonna be honest with you, and it's just like what a friend said. Shout out to Sabiha. She said, and this was accurate: the governments stand with Israel, but the streets are with Palestine. And that's what we've been seeing. Now, I said that in Twitter, and some people got mad. They were like, no, no, no. There's a lot of people in Israel, that people who are pro-Israel out in the streets. And I'm like, yeah, well, where are they at? Because I don't see that many. I don't see a whole lot of pro-Israel rallies. I see a ton of pro-Palestine rallies. A ton. 50,000 people came out for Palestine in LA, in Los Angeles. How many people came out for Israel in Los Angeles? I mean, you have so many nations that are, and I should show that, but there's a lot of nations that are actually coming out for them. Thank you very much for that question. Omar says, JB, do you know that Palestine is very pro-Black? They protest police shootings and have paintings of George Floyd and BLM all over the place. There's even an Arabic hip hop and rap. Yes. In fact, you know what? What's his name? I don't know if I can play this though. Let me see. Let me see. There is a kid in Palestine. I hope he's still alive. Oh no, it's not DJ. There's this kid in Palestine that actually did a rap song. MC Abdul. Here's the thing. I don't know if I can play this on here because I don't want to get a copyright claim. Shoot. Damn it. See, that's the thing, man. That's the thing about YouTube, man. Hang on. I do not want to get a copyright claim. It's not, but I mean, here's the thing though. I mean, I'm not monetized. I'm not monetized, so I'm not making any money off this stream. You know what? Here's the thing. Here's what I'll do. If I get a copyright claim, I'll on the back end, I'll cut this part out. I'll just mute it. But if I don't, because I'm not monetized anyway, then it'll stay up on the stream and people who watch this afterwards can see it. But yes, they do have hip hop and rap, and they're very deeply influenced by Black culture. And yes, they also have a mural. Let me actually pull this up. They have a mural of George Floyd in Gaza. Let me share. There's a couple. They have more than one, by the way. Let me share this with you guys, just so you can see first, and then I'll get into that song, because that song, that this kid is deep. All right, so here is in Gaza, George Floyd mural. Boom. That's not the only one. There's others. There's this one too. And that's a Black hand and a Palestinian hand. It says Black Lives Matter. So you got that. And then you have this one where it says, I cannot breathe. I want justice. So yes, Palestinians have been in solidarity with Black people for the longest time. And a lot of times, and you know what pisses me off is that some Black people are saying, well, I'm only going to fight for my people, and I'm not going to have any solidarity with anybody else who's outside of the Black community. And I say to that, your humanity is conditional. If you're sitting here and saying, well, I only want to do Black people only, because some people be like, well, I care about Black people first. It's like, do not confuse being Black people first with Black people only, because some of y'all are Black people only. And then when some other group is suffering, then you go, not my problem. Or then you'll try to make excuses. Well, this people, a few people from this group were racist towards me, so I'm just going to overlook or look past their genocide. I'm going to turn a blind eye and say it's not my problem. When in reality, it is your problem, because your tax dollars are going towards the genocide of these people. The IDF is being trained. The police are being trained by the IDF. So they're using the same tactics they use against Palestinians back on us. And then on top of it all, even though our humanity should not be transactional like that, even still, they have stood with us in solidarity, and we have stood with them in solidarity. Even our Black leaders, like Assata Shakur, Angela Davis, Malcolm X, James Baldwin, the Black Panther Party, they have stood in solidarity with Palestinians too. They have a statue of Nelson Mandela. So when it comes to the relationship between Palestinians and Black people, it's been there. And so some Black people who say, nah, we just got to care about our own. I'm like, we can care about our own and express solidarity with other oppressed groups. It's not mutually exclusive. We can do both. That's my thing. Like, humanity should not be conditional. Solidarity with oppressed people should not be conditional. So let me share this. And I'm keeping this comment up just so it keeps me in mind. So yeah, this is MC Abdul, 12 years old. 12. So that was MC Abdul out of Gaza, Palestine. That was him. That was a 12-year-old. And there's another song that he put out. Somebody was talking about it on TikTok, but I think that's important, that how they also embrace Black culture too. So, a gentleman that I was responding to on TikTok was like, "Oh no, a lot of these Palestinians they've been racist towards us Black people," and I'm like, "Okay, so you're going to paint all Palestinians with a broad brush based on your experience with a few ones that were racist? Is that what you're going to do?" Because the problem I see is you're painting and generalizing a group of people based on your experiences with a few, but you hate when people do that to us Black people. See, we can't do that. And bait is that's just like a straight dude basing his experiences with gay dudes on one gay dude that pushed his boundaries. Like, we're all not like that. Right? Men do not like when women generalize all men as the same. Now, men like me, I understand, and I'm not going to take it as a slight against me because, well, men have been shitty towards women. But at the same time, not all of us are the same. Now, I do that through my example, and I try to be an example, but no, not all of us are the same. Not all of us neurotypicals are the same, right? So the thing is like we cannot generalize people and then have our humanity based on that experience from a small few that have committed a transgression against us. Humanity should not be conditional. That's what I say. Our solidarity with oppressed groups should not be conditional. And we can express solidarity and care about other oppressed groups while still fighting for our liberation. So yeah, thank you. I know I spent a lot of time on your comment, Omar, but thank you so very much. I wanted to expound on that just a little bit. Aren't the Ashkenazi Jews the ones with tie sacks? I don't even know what the tie sack is, but thank you. Thank you, Miguel. Says anyone can move anywhere in the world, but that doesn't give you the right to displace the natives. Basically, you said, look, Miguel said it better than I could. And no, I don't look nothing like Norwegian, but I do have Norwegian in me. It's like probably like 2%. Thank you, Christopher. Says great thumbnail and great Argyle. Thank you. Jacqueline says, how do you navigate going to dialysis, researching your topics, and making excellent and informative content? Thank you. I have to be strict with myself because if not, then I just let things go by the wayside. Okay. I have a calendar on my phone, so I make sure that I have to keep myself in check when it comes to things like if my family wants to do something, I have to be like, look, you guys have to let me know what day and time, and I have to see if I'm free. I hate that, but that's how it is now. And because I have dialysis, like literally 40% of my week is taken up by dialysis, right? Because it's not just dialysis treatment, but by the time I get home, I have to rest. So which means by the time I get home, by like noon, I'm sleeping until like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. that evening. And then I'm doing something like light, like maybe doing a little bit of research or something like that. Or I'm just chilling out because I am wiped out. It is exhausting, right? Think about one of the hardest days you've ever had to work, and you come home and then you just fall out and go to sleep, and you don't even remember when you fell asleep. That's dialysis. And that's 3 times a week. And on the days that I don't have, sometimes that fatigue carries over. And so when it comes to researching topics, I usually go for what just piques my interest. And if it piques my interest, then I think that there's going to be some other people that are going to be interested in what I talk about. So that's what I go with. I also try to do something that's some things that are local. Shout out to Roger Meadows for also recommending that, because these things I need to know about what's going on in my city. But a lot of times some people want to know like what's going on in Orlando. And I have some people who are in Central Florida who view this channel. So I want to cover sometimes more local topics. I also wanted to get more deeper into foreign policy because it is important. Foreign policy and domestic policy shake hands with each other. They go hand in hand. So that's one of the reasons why I got more deeper into foreign policy, is because you have to know what's going on into the world so that you know what's going on within the nation. Because a lot of times capitalism will project these policies out into the world, and then they will also do it back into us. Like, for instance, with the IDF training the cops. Well, that's foreign policy where the cops will go to Israel, they'll train, and then they'll come back here and they'll use those same tactics against us. So this is why it's important to pay attention to foreign policy, and also how many Black people are paying attention to foreign policy. I don't see as many. Besides people like myself, Nick Cruz, Sabby Sabs. I see CJ's getting more into foreign policy. You have Garland Nixon, Margaret Kimberly, Jamal Baraka. You have a lot of Black people, not too many Black people who are into foreign policy as much. So now, because you have more Black people that are getting into foreign policy, I'm actually loving it, because now we're becoming more international in our thinking, having an international mindset where we start to have more solidarity with workers of the world, right? And a lot of us Black people, we start having more solidarity with members of the diaspora too. So it's not just Black Americans that we have solidarity with, but it's also, the people from Mali, right? Or the Afro Brazilians, right? Or we start having more in solidarity with people from Madagascar, or solidarity with people from DRC. And so that also grows too, which I think is very important, is having a growth of the diaspora and accepting other Black people who are not American descendants of slaves. It's saying that, yes, we are all one. But then you can also grow from that and start seeing us as a planetary whole of a people, because ultimately we're all cousins in some way, shape, or form. All of us are. And so then you start to see yourself in other people, and you start to see the humanity in other people. I think that's important. That's why foreign policy has become a lot more important to me, because I want to see the world and see how people are dealing with it within the world. And a lot of times it's because they're dealing with the bullshit that the United States government does in order to have their iron grip on the world, right? And as somebody that's a communist, I'm now saying, how do we loosen this grip, finger by finger, off of the world, right? We have to loosen that grip and more comfort the world, but we have to do it through making sure that the interests of the United States are now on the people, not just a small few. And with that being said, is that if we have our interest on everyone instead of a small few, then we also start to look at the people through the eyes of workers instead of the elites. So I want to help benefit the workers of Thailand. I want to benefit the workers of Poland. I want to benefit the workers of Argentina. I want to benefit the workers of Australia. I want to benefit the workers of Ethiopia. See what I mean? We start to see the workers in these regions and our solidarities with them, which means that our policies will now reflect how we deal with these countries. So instead of extracting the lithium from Bolivia for an extremely cheap price or for damn near free, and then screwing over the Bolivians, especially the indigenous Bolivians, instead we go, okay, you guys collectively decide how you guys want to utilize the lithium in Bolivia, name your price, and if we can afford it, we'll have trade with you, friendly trade. And so Bolivians say, okay, this is how much we want. All right, America, can we afford this? Yes. Okay, let's do it this way. And so then the Bolivian people are uplifted, but at the same time, there's no exploitation of the Bolivian people. And then what do we have to do? Well, we have to bring our manufacturing here. And our manufacturing has to grow within the United States. And once that manufacturing grows in the United States, it's like, okay, the workers here see the workers there, and we collaborate and say, okay, well, you guys have these resources, and we have these resources here. Let's trade. And that's what I want to see. Roger Mayer says, I covet Ice-T's wife. I'm going to hell. No, you're not. Roger, you're heavenly, bro. Mm. Let me go. Oh, by the way, if you guys have not already, please make sure to give a like for the stream. And while I have you guys here, hang on, let me take it down. If you guys have not, then just to let you guys know, let me say this first. We're doing a fundraiser for mutual aid that's going to be happening in December. So if you guys would like to, you guys can go to Orlando, Cash App at $ Orlando RBN. We are going to be raising $3,000 for grocery gift cards, toiletries, and warm clothes. So I would like to get at least, we can get at least $100 on this stream. Even if it's like 100 people. Well, I don't have that many people watching live, but you know what? Let's do this. Let's get, if we can do like $75, right? Just from the stream, I think that'd be amazing. And yes, I will shout people out as well for your contributions. But if we can do 75 for the stream, I think that would be amazing. So let me put the link in the chat as well, just so that everybody has access to it. Let me make sure. Oh, wait, let me take this down. Also, by the way, guys, what'd you think about the that song, that rap song by MC Ahmed? I think he was very talented, and I hope he's still alive. It's sad that I actually have to say that, but that's the nature of the beast right now. So I'm just making sure that I'm putting this also in all the chats that I'm live. Let me see. All right. And yes, I see, Belon, I see you on the Rumble side. So I'll get to your question in a second too. Just want to make sure. All right, so I want to make sure I put that in. But yes, for the RBN chapter, mutual aid chapter that we're doing right now, we are raising those funds as well. So if you guys would like to, then you guys can also contribute to that. So once again, $ Orlando RBN. So you guys, if you guys have, if you guys want to contribute, you guys have that as well. I want to put that first because that's very important. That's my main goal. Now, if you guys would like to contribute to the channel, yes, I am demonetized. If you like to, you guys can support the channel through Patreon or PayPal. If you guys want to do just like one time, you guys can do PayPal as well. I am going to also put those in. I also have Venmo too. So if you guys would like to, you guys can also do Venmo, but this is just for me. The most important in my view is the wait, what? Opens in a new tab. What's that? Sorry, I'm just dealing with this. Actually, you know what? I hope that works. Anyways, but yeah, so if you guys would like to, you guys can do that as well. Let me just put this just in case it doesn't work. Oops. All right. So that's for the channel. So thank you very much to everybody for that. And and thank you so much to all the patrons on Patreon, Coffee. And unfortunately, members, you guys, your memberships have been paused because my channel is demonetized. But I just do want to thank all of you guys as well for your support. Anyway, also, I just want to thank new patrons from Patreon. We have Martin Rios, Alex Rivera, Donnie Danique, Tony Beck, Zoe, and John Freese. Thank you so very much to the patrons on Patreon. Without you guys, I would not be able to do this type of work. So you guys make this possible. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you guys would like to, you guys can become patrons on Patreon as well. And share this, and I can get back to the questions. So we have JB members, Solidarity, Comrades, Jaybefaunters, Super Jaybefaunters, Super Duper Jaybefaunters, and Mega Jaybefaunters. So thank you so very much as well. Now, let's get back to the show. All right, so let me go to these a little bit. So Justice says, question 1. So you're going to take this kidney I'm offering if it's a match or not? I'm joking, but also completely serious. Would a donor campaign help? My liver shot, but my kidney should be okay. Help yourself. Yeah, as far as that's concerned, I'm not sure if you can do it if you're that far away. I'm not sure exactly where you are, but As far as getting a kidney transplant, I will be looking into. I got to do the applications for it, and it might come in the form of a cadaver. But and there's a lot that's involved in donating, a organ. So yeah, but I appreciate it. So I'll be starting off with family first, whoever wants to, and then they have to get the test done. It's mental evaluation, oral test, physicals, all these different things are involved as well. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? And aside from helping out your mom, is that something you would pursue? Maybe if peritoneal dialysis is an option. Okay. So if I could live anywhere in the world, gosh, there's so many places. I really want to travel very often, but I want to live someplace that's kind of like it's kind of a combo of like it has a beach, but then it also has a mountainous area. I don't know, like okay, so I follow this page on Instagram where it's Switzerland and it's beautiful. It is just these huge mountains with just covered in just like trees, and it's just gorgeous out there. But then there's some places within Central Africa that I'm just like, gosh, that's beautiful. But they're kind of landlocked, so I'm just like, I want a beach. And then there's places in like California that's really beautiful. So I don't know, man. Like that's what I'm. That's where my brain is at. See, I want to be near water, but at the same time, I want to be near mountains. Like I want to be like, you know. Is there something that you would pursue? You mean something else that I would pursue aside from helping out my mom? Um, yeah, there's a few things that I would do. Like if helping out my mom wasn't a big thing to do, if she didn't necessarily need like financial help, I probably and if I didn't have dialysis, I would be traveling more. Well, if money wasn't an issue, I'd be traveling more. I'd be going out there to different areas and going to different places. I also would be doing my show from different locations across the United States. Like if money wasn't an issue, I'd be traveling too. I'd be going outside the country. Like I would be doing stuff. Like if I could, I would have been to like Burkina Faso and covering what's going on there. Like, you know what I'm saying, from the ground. I think that would be really cool. But yeah. Justice says, are you pursuing or interested in doing any voiceover or audio book readings professionally? I did. It's just it takes having a coach, having an agent. It's just a lot of stuff that's involved with it. And I don't really have that ability right now. But I would like to. That's something I've actually wanted to do. And maybe I can get into it in the future. But as for right now, I'm doing this. So I would like to do it. They said, I would love for you to be the literal voice of our leftists for future generations. Thank you so very much as well for that one. I wanted to make sure I got to Justice's KD Lewis, good to see you, Cam. Says limiting your solidarity to one group is antithetical to liberation movements. Absolutely. I agree. Thank you so very much. Let me see. Jacqueline says, I've noticed how people who criticize the Israel government and being anti-Semite, but if anybody criticizes Palestine, they're classed as Islamophobic, or is just another double standard. Palestinians are Semites, so if you're anti-Palestinian, then you're being anti-Semitic. I've actually talked about this. In fact, Let's share. Let me see. So, who are Semites? Right? Let's go to the dictionary so that people know what is what, because I think it's important that we have this information at our arsenal. So, Semitic. Semitic, from the dictionary from Oxford Languages, says relating to or denoting a family of languages that include Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic, and certain languages such as Phoenician and Akkadian, constituting the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family. Two, relating to the peoples who speak Semitic languages, especially Hebrew and Arabic. Now, that's what Semitic means. So, now, so if we go to Palestinian, Palestine. So, official language of Palestine is Arabic, which is a Semitic language. They are essentially Semites, right? So, let's go to Israel language, Hebrew, which is another Semitic language. So, therefore, essentially, Israelis are technically Semites, and Jewish people are technically Semites. So, when people say that you're anti Semitic for supporting Palestine, that is like saying that I am anti Latino for supporting Brazilians, even though Latinos in Brazil speak Portuguese and Latinos in Argentina speak Spanish. But Portuguese and Spanish are both Latin languages. So, how can I be anti Latino if I support Brazilians who speak Portuguese? How can I be anti Latino? Doesn't make any sense. So I think that's the point. And the thing is like there's a difference between being against Jews and being against the state of Israel. Because the thing is that the state of Israel is not all Jews. There's a lot of Jewish people who do not agree with having a state of Israel. On top of all that, Israel is a Zionist project. By the way, not all Jews are Zionists, and not all Zionists are Jewish. There are Christian Zionists as well. I can name a few. George W. Bush is a Zionist. He's not Jewish. Barack Obama, a Zionist, not Jewish. Joe Biden, a Zionist, not Jewish. Donald Trump, a Zionist, not Jewish. See, here's the thing. And all those guys I just mentioned, Christian. There are Christian Zionists out there as well. So that's the thing. And so it's not anti-Semitic to criticize a government no more than it is you can consider being racist for criticizing Zimbabwe or criticizing Ethiopia. Like, if you criticize Ethiopia, are you racist if you criticize the government of Ethiopia? Nah. If you're criticizing their government, I criticize Uganda, especially for when it comes to LGBTQ issues. Does that make me anti-Black? Oh. So that's the thing. and it's used as a tool to bludgeon people rhetorically so that they support the state of Israel. But if anybody criticizes Palestine, they're class Islamophobic. Thing is like the Palestinians are literally being genocided, right? Now, you can criticize them for fighting back, but you're literally criticizing international law, which states that an occupied people have the ability and have the right to fight back against illegal occupation by any means necessary. The thing that's international law, you know. And yeah, it is a bit of a double standard. Bernard says, ever hear of the Oka crisis? Natives took on the Canadian military in the 90s. No, but here's the thing. The natives have just as much right to fight occupation, just like the Palestinians do. Like if the natives in the United States woke up and wanted to fight the occupation of the United States, they have that right too. It's just that's international law. And thank you very much. I appreciate it, Bernard. Love from Norway. No, humanity is a big melting pot. But it's always great to have some of us and great people like you. Oh, thank you so much, Martin. Appreciate it. Jonathan says, so RFK Jr. is averaging 18% in the polls, and West is averaging 8%, with a Kennedy West ticket being 26%. I don't know, but as far as having a unity ticket, RFK Jr. would have to change on his atrocious Palestine stance. He would have to shift on that because there's absolutely no way that I would vote for somebody like RFK Jr. with the stance that he has on Palestine. He, in my view, he's literally pushing pro-genocide. And people can say, well, that's not what he wants. He just wants the best for Israel. And I'm like, the best for Israel is to end the occupation and give people back their land. That's honestly the best that they could do. But that's a good question. Thank you very much. Mizu says, JB, did you ever hear when Robin Thede revealed her white ancestry being German? I knew it because of those cheekbones. Marlena Dietrich, white ain't just white with mix, nor with that black side. I don't. Robin Thede. Who's Robin Thede? Wait, that name sounds familiar. Robin Thede. Wait. Oh, wait. Actress. She looks familiar. I just don't know who she is. Wait. Yeah, I've never really watched her. Sorry, but interesting. Thank you very much. All right. So let's go to. Oh yeah, let me see this. Jacqueline, in regards to the song, says it was a very touching and poignant song, and it's unacceptable that any child or any human being, for that matter, should be living in such circumstances. Absolutely, I fully agree. Oh, you know what? While I'm here, let me go to the Rockfin because I think I saw some questions there as well. Make sure. All right. So let's pop it out. Let's see. All right, so let me go to The Rock. The Rock. The Rock is on fire. We don't need no water. Let that mother burn. Sorry. Good to see you, Rory O'Neill. Nice to thank you so much about the sweater. Please no rallies from now on, JB. What do you mean? I'm gonna still go do rallies. I have to. Because you know what? People need support. Thank you for the tip, Roger. He says, look, Jay, you saying you like to see us all give each other love. We ain't got no time for you and your group sex. Oh gosh, for you and your group sex fantasy voyeurism, we got too many problems going on in the world. Dang it, Roger. Saying, however, make love not war might be the solution. Messy, but it could work. You sound like my friend. Check your DM. I sent you his number to do a show on what it means to be on dialysis. Oh yeah. I'll get it. I'll reach out. And a fixed income and how you got to hide money from government. Well, yeah, you ain't lying. Hemcar says, when you're a criminal, lawless thug like American, it makes sense. Damn. All right, Hemcar. I ain't going to disagree, though. Thank you for the next tip. Roger, he says, I prioritize domestic over foreign policy. I prioritize state over DC for a number of reasons. One, I have more control over what happens here in this country than overseas. Two, I have way more control over what happens in New York State than in DC. Three, if I lived in a CBI state specifically for amendments, I've had way more control. Truth is, more people don't have bandwidth to worry about foreign policy. However, change your state. Thank you very much for that as well, Roger. Let me see. Mizu says, JB, please set up a locals as Patreon can demonetize you at any time. I have to look into it because, yeah, I have to look into it. I don't have locals, so I'll probably look into that as well. Actually, let me ask you guys this question. Should I do more of these as well? Oh my gosh. Hang on. Yeah, because I like doing these once in a while. I haven't done this in a while because I just been focused more on doing the news. But I think maybe every few months I should do Q&A stream. I actually kind of like it. It's actually not bad. Let me take a look here. All right. Oh boy. Oh nope, that's not what. What in the book? All right. Copy. All right, and let me do this. I'm just signing into Cash App. I had it on the other side. Just making sure. Jeez Louise. Whoa. CEB Applejack, thank you so much for the $75. Wow. This goes towards the this is going towards our mutual aid that we're having. Thank you so very much. I'm going to make sure to also shout you out on Twitter as well. But wow. Yeah, I see it now. Thank you so very much. This is definitely going to help. If you guys would like to as well, this brings us even closer to our goal for the $3,000 we need to raise for the grocery gift cards, toiletries, and warm clothes we're going to be doing in December. So yes, CEB Applejack, thank you so very much. The goal was like $75 for the stream, and now we're there. So anything else is just awesome. So thank you so very much. Much appreciated. That is huge. Wow, I wasn't expecting us to get there like that, but oh man. If Cam's in the chat, yeah, yeah. Thank you so very much. Oh, yep. Cam said you're a real one for that. Yep, thank you. And thank you so much. Yeah. Everybody give CEB Applejack some applause in the chat, because that definitely helps. One of the things that people actually talked about when we were on the ground last time was a lot of people were like, well, we need food. And I'm just like, damn, how are we going to do that without getting arrested? So that definitely helps. So thank you so very much. CEB Applejack says, also my team, Savage Gang, and I are working on another tour for the poor type assistance. This time in, oh my gosh, this word, Choyoga Falls, Ohio. Our goal is to reach 16,000 this time. Warren was hit. We raised 26,000. Wow, that's awesome, dude. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Wait, what? Meteor Dreams, the Jimmy Dore left is turning to left, anti-gay and trans. What are your thoughts? Look, here's the thing. I don't think that Jimmy Dore has a whatchamacallit, a monopoly on the left as far as that's concerned. Um, However, I do think that a lot of people who are on the left that may have a anti-gay or anti-trans type of thoughts, I think that they really need to look deeper within themselves and realize that there are a lot of gay and trans people who are workers too. And if you're going to have solidarity, you need to have solidarity with them as well. And the thing is, it's like gay people and trans people, they are not your enemy, and we are not people who are ruining your lives. It is the corporate people at the top that are doing that. And on top of it, they will use us as a way, or use our identities as a way as to, beat people over the head with, without actually doing anything for us materially. So they will use people like me with my identity and go, well, if you're not for trans rights, well, then you're this terrible person. And it's like, no, don't use it for identity like that in order to bludgeon people over the head with. But people also need to realize that when it comes to the rights of LGBTQ people, is that ultimately it is also linked to class. And if you really want to push for something, that is materially better, you got to realize that we are also limited by class as well. As far as people who are LGBTQ, there's also class intersected with gender, all these different things. So yeah, I probably didn't say it correctly the way I wanted to, but I think that some people just need to educate themselves more in regards to what those of us who are queer go through. So yeah. I do not believe this reality revolution. I do not believe Judaism is worse than Zionism. In fact, I think that Zionism is just a perversion of Judaism. And so, what I am not going to do is I am not going to label and see all Jewish people as bad simply because a few of them, just like a few Christians, have decided to do some bad things in the world. So, yeah, so I don't believe in that. And so, in my opinion, that comment doesn't fly with me. And I'm sorry if that offends you, But the thing is that ultimately, as far as from what I've observed, there are a lot of Jewish people that are actually peaceful, that are loving. So yeah, and they are against Zionism. So to say that Judaism is worse than Zionism, yeah, mm-mm. I think that's out of order. You see, let me see. Jacqueline says everyone, no matter what their race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or gender, needs food, clean air, clean water, shelter, safety, and free time for fun and relaxation. I agree. Um, then we need to be careful, and start talking about an entire religion, because here's the thing: there are Christian terrorists too. We've had Christian terrorism. Look at the extreme right wing in this country and how they're using Christianity in order to basically take our rights away within this country too. So the thing is, like, if you're going to say it, then you're going to say it about Christianity too. So I think that's the point. We have to be careful with how we say some of these things. And the fact is that you said Judaism is a horrible religion, when in reality it's like, no, there are some people who subscribe to certain religions that are horrible, but we can't just paint that particular religion as horrible. You know what I'm saying? So I think we really need to be careful with that, because then now you're going from anti-Zionist to being anti-Semitic. See what I'm saying? And the thing is that we don't want to go to that route. So, Zionism I'm against, but I'm not against Judaism, right? Just like I'm not against Christianity, I'm not against Hinduism, I'm not against, Islam, because the thing is that it depends on how people move within these religions. So, yeah. But yes, so let me. Oh, wait. This was a good question by Abalon on the Rock. Sorry, Rumble side says, "You were a cook, right? Or at least did some training. Was your favorite dish to cook?" Yes, I went to culinary school back in the day, and so, oh, gosh, you had to ask me that question. Now I have to think. My brain literally has to go. Now I have to run the hamster on the wheel, and the hamster's tired. Um, One of the things I did that was really good was I made almost like a shrimp scampi pasta. It was so simple too. Just like a little bit of butter, a little bit of olive oil, then you saute the garlic in there, and then you cook the shrimp in the garlic butter mixture, and then you hit it with a little bit of white wine, and then I sauteed some peppers and onions too, and I mixed it with some linguine pasta. Oh my gosh, like holy crap. And you put just a little bit of pasta water in it to thicken it. Oh, that was good. I ain't gonna lie. And then if you want to, you can take some grilled chicken. See, this is why I should be talking about this stuff, because I make my own damn self hungry. Why you ask me that question, Avalon? Come on now, don't do that to me. Don't do that. Don't do that. Says I treat cooking like a science lab. Yeah, it is like a science lab. Okay, now, so the hell? Well, I'm gonna be heading out because JB is. It's time for JB to go. And the thing is, man, I really wanted to join RBN today, but they went live early. But it's okay. But um this Thursday, be sure to tune in to Savvy and JB show. We'll be doing on RBN because I know we'll be doing that. And then on top of it, I'll be doing the readings for Laziness Does Not Exist, as well as Asada Shakur's autobiography. I gotta finish Asada Shakur's autobiography. I'm almost done, man. That's what I gotta do. Oh, thank you for reminding me, Roger. You know me. You know I'll skip out. Hang on. Let me. All right. So. Oh. All right. So let me share the screen. All right. So. Oh, I think that was a combination of what you were saying last. So, however, change your state for the better, then you can automatically will affect foreign policy. The only way to get good free trade deals is if co-ops are at the table, then you will see fair trade. That makes sense. There's the way to do that is grow worker co-ops here with CBI citizen ballot initiative amendments to provide a path for them to grow. Place it as an egg in all 50 place them as an egg in all 50, watch them hatch and grow to become a lobbying force in state capitals, then form Voltron and go to DC to become major lobbying force there. Sounds like you got a plan, Roger. Oh my goodness. So thank you so very much. JB do an autobiography of Malcolm X. That's an option. I could do the autobiography of Malcolm X. And also it says, are you planning doing any books on Fred Hampton? Yeah, I could look into that. I was also looking at a book by Bell Hooks as well. Trying to see about that. I don't know. Like once I'm done with Asada Shakur, I want to go to another woman. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to evenly disperse, the reading between not just male authors but female authors too. So I want to do that. We'll see. That's why I'm looking for female authors, particularly like Black liberation feminism. I'm going to look into that more. But yeah. So yes, that's what I'll be looking into. But thank you so very much to everybody. Also, if you guys have not already, then you guys can also contribute to the mutual aid fundraiser. You guys can go to $ Orlando RBN on Cash App so that you guys are able to contribute. Just because I met the goal doesn't mean I can't exceed it. So thank you so very much as well. wait, hold up. Roger, look, I promise you, dude. I promise you, I am not trying to take your women away. That dude, I'm sorry. He said you're gay, leave the women alone, stop being greedy. I'm just coming at them, from a brotherly perspective, Roger. You don't, don't worry. Don't worry, bro. Don't worry. CEB Applejack says, have you ever read much Sister Soldier? No, but I have seen how she actually took Dr. Cornel West to task way like 30 years ago. So yeah. And Jenna Colby says bell hooks. Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe bell hooks. I'm gonna look into it. Cobra Commander, good to see you. I didn't know you were here. Good to see you. Mizu says, have a great book for you, JB. Read Vandana Shiva and her book on Bill Gates. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I could be a wingman. I can totally be a wingman. Look, straight guys, I could help you. Like, I can gas you up, bro. Like, do not discount. Like, I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm not trying to put you, down. I'm trying to build you up, bro. Don't worry. I got you. Look, we in the club. I got you. All right. Just trust me on this one. Trust me. All right. Screen Arts Media says perfect wingman, no cock blocking. Yes, as long as y'all don't cock block me either. If I see that dude over there and I'm trying to holler at him, don't y'all get in my way now. I won't get in your way. I'll help you, but I need you to help me too. Oh man. All right. Cool beans, everybody. All right, so I'm gonna head out. I'm hungry. I need something to eat. Wait, did I eat that? No, okay. I had cashews earlier. Don't you dare, Roger! Don't you dare! You better not even send me a tip on Rockfin regarding that. Nope, I know exactly what you're thinking. I said cash. I know your brain. I know you laughing too. I can hear you. Nope. We are not getting into that. They were Emil brand, by the way. Roger says, JB, you start singing and all the women start. No. They don't swoon. They pass out because I made their ears bleed. I'm sorry. Says, reminds me of the 80s when women swoon over Luther. Ooh. No. I am nothing like Luther. Nothing. Man. Anywho. But Luther was the man. Luther was the man, boy. So you're gonna be. Well. Man. Anywho. Yeah, so take care, everybody. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. I gotta do my goodbye. Anyway, look, like I always say, water your plants, water yourselves, leave the world better than you found it. Smoke them if you got them, drink them if you got them. If you ain't got them, then watch something funny, watch something joyful, because joy is revolutionary. Because we need little joy in our lives. And look, make sure to have solidarity with other oppressed peoples, no matter who they are. And, right now it's Palestine. There are people going through, a lot of stuff, in Africa. Make sure to keep an eye on them. Make sure to keep an eye on our Haitian, brethren out there too, because a lot of people are suffering. And a lot of times it's due to what's happening in this country, because that's what we have to do to change. We have to change things. And if you can start locally, then great. Just like what Roger Meadows said, start locally and we can grow out of that. So I think that's really important. Oh, mwah, forehead kisses. Did you feel it? Did you feel it right here? Yeah, yeah. Because I'm always giving out forehead kisses. Because I'm an affectionate guy. You know? What should I have? I think I should have a salad with chicken. Absolutely. I think I'll do that. Anywho, bye. See you later, everybody. Love you.